whether you're a storyteller or a story consumer on this, that I think is so true in what you just said right there is if you're a storyteller, there is so much temptation and pressure to, and I think on the tech side, to only tell how amazing the product is, say everything that's wonderful about it, like exaggerate the heck out of like this idealistic state and not acknowledge the greater complexity for it. Or if you're telling a story in general, to exaggerate and use this hyperbole, because again, it grabs people's attention and the data is clear. People engage with stuff. If you,
Yeah.
and I can say from just personal experience, there is a lot of pressure to do the hyperbole and get people amped up and get them angry and do that because that's the stuff that gets the clicks, it gets
Yep.
the shares, it gets the reads. But when you're the one who's actually going in, going, let's talk about the complexity of this. And here's really what's going on. And here's this side, here's this side, here's how this fits together. And I'm not here to just tell you it's all perfect. And if you go this way, your life will be great. But I think there's enough merit to this that's going to do that. That can be extremely hard. And it's hard on a consumer end because you want to just read the thing that makes you mad or confirms your point of view. And it actually takes work to go, no, I'm actually going to go to the source that isn't quite as gets me all emotionally hijacked. But it's hard too, if you're the storyteller, to not go, yeah, but wouldn't this story go so much further if I made my headline like AI is the end of the world, like wouldn't this podcast just take off if I did, instead of going, yeah, but you know full well that's not really what's going on, type of
Yes.
a thing. And I think that's a really important message for both sides to consider as we move forward.
And it is a challenge, in an area where everybody believes they are a marketer, right? Everybody believes they can do marketing better. Everybody says, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? At the end of the day, you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I did that with integrity and I did that based on the facts. And yes,
Yeah.
people can spin wild tales, but, I think I am old enough to have seen that that comes back to bite you.
I was just going to say, it's my experience and having seen this is it's short-term
Super
gains
high.
sometimes
Yeah.
for long-term pain.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, maybe you can buy the hype cycle and maybe it might get you some dollars and some attention in the short term. But when you fall, you're going to fall hard and it's going to hurt really bad. And I think about that even just from a tech company standpoint, that I've seen companies that have made these just exorbitant promises and you're like,
Yeah.
this is not going to go well when people find out, and Elizabeth Holmes, you brought up that example, or it was a perfect example of that. Oh,
Yeah.
we can solve everything from a drop of blood.
Right.
If it
That's a
sounds
great
too good to be
storyline,
true, it
right?
probably,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great storyline. Sounds wonderful. You can create a whole facade.
Yeah.
But then when it implodes, oof,
Yep.
it is that much further you fell. Well, Zenobia, this has been extremely fun. I've really enjoyed our conversation. I hope
Me
you have as
too. Thank
well.
you so much.
And for everybody watching and listening, hopefully this, we didn't go into the hype cycle because really the thing with storytelling is it's complicated, but I hope that everybody can see that there are ways that you can do this well regardless. But I think especially in this digital age, it's exceptionally important. But also if you're a consumer of stories, some ways to watch out because stories also have the power to manipulate